Freddie Andersen, is that as good as he can look? What a performance last night.
Yeah, he was really sharp, and he got a fair amount of work. I thought some really good quality scoring chances off the rush, off set plays. He looked sharp. He looked confident. He looked focused. But he's been good all year. I mean, they are a big part of their success is that they have had quality goaltending virtually every night. So I'm not surprised at this at all. They got to figure out a way to get a backup goaltender that can take some of the load off him, but he's been really sharp right from the get-go this year.
And maybe stop 3 breakaways up 2-0 in the third period?
Yeah, I liked Bo Horvat's interview after the game. He said how many times he stopped me and how many times did he stop Brock Besser? I think he had 4 breakaways in the second half of the game.
Crazy.
So he was sharp. He was good. And your attitude changes so much. When the goaltender is that hot, you can cheat a lot. You can gamble. You can leave early when you think your defenseman's going to get the puck. You can be way more attack-oriented because you're not afraid of giving up something behind you.
Okay, you brought up the workload and the backup goaltender, and I feel like the chatter around Frederik Andersen right now has some recency bias to it because he played 66 games in his first 2 seasons in Toronto and then was accused of being tired when the playoffs rolled around. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but Sid and I remember it. Are they risking doing that again if they can't play their backup?
For sure.
Yeah.
We did this the other night. We posted the playoff teams in the Eastern Conference last year and how many points the backup goaltender contributed toward their point total. It was as high as one team was over 40, where they went in a split. And then a platoon-type style like Boston uses, you'll get 30 or 35 points maybe out of your backup if you have a good team. The lowest number was 21 points. That was the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they got 21 points out of their backup a year ago. Right now, they've got 1. And it's not a problem that's going to solve itself. And if you keep playing Freddie, he's either going to get hurt or he's going to go into the playoffs exhausted. Neither outcome is any good. They've got to fix this.
What do they have to fix in Edmonton here, Burke? A weird one last night, and some fans were not leaving happy. Does Dave Tippett have an issue on his hands here? Are the old Oilers creeping in?
Well, it's too early to say. I mean, he's got to be discouraged the way they've played the last few games, but this is a problem when you rely on 2 individuals for more than half of your offense. When they don't have big games, it's going to be real hard for you to score goals. So they got a little bit of secondary scoring out of Granlund. Cassian got a couple of goals. But basically, if the 2 big dogs aren't going, then you're going to have trouble winning hockey games. And they looked slow against Carolina. They looked sleepy. They allowed some real good scoring chances that were inexplicable. And their goaltending, which has been a real backstop for them, a real backbone of their winning so far, being in first place most of the year, their goaltending, but the tandem has both been good, and right now they both look a little shaky.
All right, let's get to your old team in Calgary as quickly as we can here because, I mean, this is now 6 straight, and I was saying, well, the schedule is kind of soft when Bill Peters went away, and Jeff Ward kind of benefited from it, but they have now won 6 straight. They've scored at least 3 goals in all of those games. The big boys are starting to warm a little bit. They're also getting help from unexpected sources. Like, is this just a nice little run over a period where you would expect the Calgary Flames to make some hay, or are you seeing signs of them kind of getting back to what made them good last year?
I think more of the latter. They had 106 or 107 points last year. They're a legit team. They're a legit contender. They had very poor playoff against Colorado, but they're a legit team. And so, to me, this is not, they're not going to go undefeated the rest of the year, obviously, but they can maintain, I think, a winning record. They're making the Saddle Dome a hard building to play in, which is really important. You want to be a team that's hard to beat in your building, and they're doing that now. I think they've got some balance in the lineup and some depth. They've got more than one line going. This coach isn't afraid to juggle lines and make adjustments. So I see them as a legit contender, and I think they can continue to play at a reasonable pace and get back in the playoff hunt and be a factor.
Do you see the interim label being dropped from Jeff Ward?
I wouldn't drop it if I were at the Calgary Flames. I think Jeff Ward's ecstatic that he got a chance to be a head coach in the NHL. Interim's fine. I think he's going to wait till they come to him and talk. Calgary does this. Calgary lets people work the last year of their contract and then talk to them. They've done this for decades, so no one should read anything into that if they continue this way.
Finally, Burke, we got about 40 seconds. The Jets, though. Another solid one last. I know it's the Wings, but another solid one last night. They'll probably get another one with Hellebuck playing basically in his backyard tonight. Paul Maurice, talk about the job he's been doing.
Well, there were some great coaching performances in the NHL every year. This year, Barry Trotz has done a remarkable job. Todd Reardon, for me, has done a remarkable job. The coach of the year for me is Paul Maurice, considering they lost half of their defense before the season began, and then Dustin Byfuglien walked on the team. So given the losses from the lineup, from your starting lineup card, the best coach in the league this year is Paul Maurice. He split up Scheifele and Wheeler, and a lot of guys wouldn't have the guts to do that, and that's paid off beautifully. So he's the guy for me.